G'day viewers, how are we going? It's a breezy, cold, wet, miserable Sunday morning in Melbourne, longest lockdown city in the world, and funnily enough that means we're playing train games. No great surprise there. Alright, so what we're going to do this morning, we're going to start with the Meissen Branch on the Dresden route, and then we're going to pop over and look at Rivet Games 1938 stock for Bakerloo. So, the 1938 stock, I have to say, was a little bit of a surprise. Oh, my rail driver's not straight. My OCD's bothering me. Should have checked that when I started, eh? That's okay. But anyway, let's go look at the Meissen Branch. And we're going to run an S1 service from Meissen Tribisch Chattel, I guess it is, to Dresden. And we're going to do that in the afternoon. So we scroll all the way down here. Don't know if you've noticed, by the way, but this search box, it don't work no more. Since Tuesday's update, they busted it. Haven't reported that yet, actually, and I haven't seen anyone else report it either, so I probably should. 1715, Meissen Tribisch Chattel? Chat? I don't know. Someone German can tell me. And we're going to be doing this. We're probably, I don't know, we might go all the way to Dresden. We'll see, because I want to show you something partway down the branch. We have Roy on the live chat, which should be live, so say hello when you hear this. We might have a Michael at some point, but he's not sure. Morning, Gareth. How are you?
Greetings, everyone.
And there's disembodied voice number one, which is Roy. And we have Gareth in chat from the UK as well. And you know something I haven't done? Before we get into driving this thing, we have... Where are they? We have some new subscribers. We have Felix, Chessie Systems Railfan, and I hope I pronounced this right, Facundo. And we had some really significant comments from Not Dead Yet, Noni, Connie, and someone named T. Pruitt during the week. So I really appreciate the interaction on the videos, folks. Cool. So we're in the BR143. And we need to wake this thing up. I always forget how to drive this thing. There's a key over here somewhere, isn't there? There it is. Okay, and there'll be a headlight switch, but we can do it with this. We can probably open the doors. Looks like from the display our pantograph's already up. Let's just put the brake on so we don't go anywhere. Make sure that one's released. Oh, that's right, that's the speed controller. And there's 3 headlight switches, I think, from memory. We want headlight to be white. That's on. We want that to be white. So let's go pop out and have a look. Whee! That looks promising. And it looks nice and dark, which is what I wanted to show you stuff. Now, they should be they're all getting off the train. They must have already been on it. That's interesting. We must have just arrived. But anyway, that's all good. Yes, Gareth, we are going to get out and go for a walk. So we're going to go to the... I don't actually think it's a secret place so much, but I like calling it the secret place because it sounds better. But yes, we're definitely going to go out and go for a walk. And I'm going to try and remember how to drive this, because most of the times that I've driven this branch, I've actually driven the Dosto cab car that's up the other end. I hardly ever drive 143. So I thought I'd do that for a change. I used to hate this train, but I don't anymore. Actually, let's just pop. Let's open this up. Let's pop down the back quickly. And somewhere here... No. Yes. Let's be game. Let's turn on PZB. What else can we turn on? Oh, we've got pantograph selector. And our battery's on. No great surprise. Loco's up and ready to go. It doesn't have AFB, but it has something a little bit similar, Garrett. So the way it drives, it's released the brakes. And from a rail driver perspective, we do have the reverser. Oh, I haven't put the reverser in. That's why I can't change it. Okay, put the reverser in, change it to forwards. And then the throttle lever on the rail driver doesn't really do anything. Interestingly, it affected the brake momentarily there. What's interesting is the indirect brake, or the direct brake lever, it controls your speed. So you set a speed and the train does it. And away we go. Success! And I got a reward because I'm horny. No, that's not right, is it? And looking at the signal, we are coming into a 60 zone. And we're in PZB monitoring. That's the flashing 70-85. Instrument lights would help. Now, what did I actually set my speed to? I wasn't watching. We can go up to 40 kilometers an hour. We're allowed to do that. That was Sifa. Just turning the game down in my headphones so I don't yell at you all. Hopefully it left the volume up for you guys. Looks like it did. So Meissen Branch is really nicely modelled. There's some nice stuff in here that's not just plug and play across all the other places. I mean, some stuff's pretty normal, like the car routes and things along here. But we are cruising along now in our VR143. Sifa going off. I'm not sure if you could tell on... Actually, you can tell on the gauge. There's a little red mark. So if I bring that down... So Gareth just asked, how do I tell? See, there's a little red mark that's moving on the speed gauge. The speed gauge is the second from the left. I'm just changing my speed with the rail driver there. And we're coming into a platform anyway, so I should probably set my speed to 0. Sifa, and do some brakes. And hopefully I didn't leave that too late, and hopefully I can stop, because wouldn't that be embarrassing? Ah, my camera's over the HUD. Okay. Oops, let me stop and I'll fix that. I think we managed that with carriages in the platform. Yeah, looks promising. Open up the left doors, can't quite see them from here. Alright, let me just fix my camera. Not using the other parts of the HUD today, so I'll pop my camera up there. Hopefully that's better, Gareth. Thank you for pointing that out. Now we can see the doors open. Go down here. And in under the platform. If I can squeeze through there, there we go. And we're supposed to shut the doors now. Oh, I got thrown out. Let's go and watch ourselves depart then. Come around here. No people can whack me out of the way here. Alright, brakes off. And there we go. I'm going to set my speed selector back up to 40 because I can't see if we're still in monitoring. We're probably not. Sounds like the brakes went off. This thing does take a long time before it starts to move, but this seems to be a little longer than usual. You watch, I'll go back in the cab and it'll move. What's going on, train? We have our speed set to 40. Have got our brakes off. Did I mention I hate this train? I think it hates me back. Maybe I just set the speed up before I released the brakes. There we go. It's very, very finicky. I want to go back where I was because I want to see that departure. Alright, I can see most of the departure. So these are the double height Dostos. The Germans all think these things are very cool, but I have to say, having lived in California, they're just kind of normal, really. Now, we're not in monitoring anymore, so we're allowed to speed up to 60, because that's our speed zone. Thank you, Sifa. So we'll pick that up. Welcome, Michael. And this is another nicely modelled little bridge. We'll be back here in a moment. And I love the castle, if that's what it is up on the hill there, but we'll get a better look at that in just a moment. And I should probably start braking, because, you know, there's a station there. isn't it? Don't be like this to me. There we go. That's better. Gonna brake a little bit too early. That's okay. It didn't make me stop anyway. I'm just waiting for the brakes to bleed off. And then hopefully I can make it move again and go up to the right place on the platform. Feels promising. We're moving. And Gareth's from the UK and has only seen double-decker trains abroad. We have them in Sydney in Australia, but we don't have any in Melbourne. We did, but they had one as an experiment and they scrapped it pretty recently. Alright, now I'll jump back in the cab because we're going to do something a little bit nasty to our passengers. Let's just set the reverser back to neutral and let's put the brakes full service because we're getting out. And the game is no doubt going to whine at me about getting out, but that's okay. It'll let me up here. Oh, yeah, the track's all the way. So we are in the main station, Meissen. I think it said Meissen anyway. And let's just duck in here for a moment. It's not a sliding door. Just, ladies and gentlemen, just letting you know that your driver is in fact pissing off briefly, and you'll just have to wait unless you know how to drive a train. Might also add, I don't. Okay. Alright, let's go for a walk. There's a lot of them, isn't there? I think in the update, they've turned on... Why are you walking in front of me? I think in the update, they've actually turned on rush hour passengers for Dresden, because there wasn't this many before, even with the increased numbers that I have. So pay attention to where I'm going. My little light on. If you duck down here through the bushes, we've escaped. So we're wandering along now, coming back to that bridge that we just crossed on the train. Gonna have a quick look around. There's that castle I was talking about, which is quite nice. I'm not sure if it's a castle or a cathedral. Maybe it's both. Certainly could be both. Traffic's good. The river's good. This is one of the better rivers I've seen in the game. I quite like it. Well, if you come to Australia and visit Sydney, you can ride a double-decker here, or if you go, no, I don't want to give up control because I want that train back in a moment. If you go to almost anywhere in the US, there's double-decker trains all over the place. Or you can go to Germany, which is probably a hell of a lot easier for you. It's not very far for you, and you're allowed to go there at the moment. Unlike us. Although Australia's reopening, I believe. Mid-November, we're reopening without quarantine. Which will be good and bad, I guess. Now we're heading down into the Meissen town. You can actually get fairly far into the town. You can even head off down some of these little side trails here and there. And there's some interesting things to go and see, but in the interests of brevity, I'll leave that exploring up to you guys. You can even go in here and have a picnic if you want. Can't see it because it's dark, but you can go in there. I did pick this time of day deliberately. You can walk all the way back to the other station down this alley, so I'll take you down this way just for a little bit. There's a few little side spots like this. You can go in there and there's construction and bicycles and things like that. Some nicely modelled stuff. Another bicycle hanging around. And the street up here with the car that's sinking into the ground. The open level crossing that if you stay here long enough will in fact shut for a train. And there's the other station just up there. So you can get here from the other station too by walking down the tracks and coming out through this crossing. You've got to do it in just the right spot though. I should point that out. You have to come out pretty much dead centre because there's an invisible wall through the rest of the crossing. Let's come back this way. And let's go to where I actually wanted to take you. I can understand why you'd be staying home. Gareth has just mentioned in the chat that he's staying home for the foreseeable future. I certainly don't foresee travelling before later next year, perhaps. There is an annual event that I like to go to in the US that I hope will be back on next year. It hasn't been for 2 years now. Love the light modelling on this route, although it's a little yellow. So there's our castle and cathedral again. Just looking at the detail on that cathedral, I suspect that's been done like the rocks were done in Utah, in that it's actually photos. Alright, let's come over this side. We can see our bridge that we were on before, and our train is sitting just up there in the dark, so at the station. So I just wanted to show you this spot because I think it's kind of cool. And if you sit up here long enough, there's actually barge traffic on the river, going up and down the river that you'll see, which is not something I'd seen in Trainsim before. I hadn't seen anything move on water before. Well, I should say, not in Trainsim 2, but on Trainsim, yeah, definitely. How far away can we lock the doors? Can we lock them with rail driver from here? Doesn't look like it. All right, let's see if I'm close enough to get back to the cab without walking there. Oh, look at that. All right, let's lock our doors. And we'll wait for our brakes to come all the way off this time, because that's my mistake last time. So there's a gauge here that's hiding under the brake handle. I'm not sure this is quite prototypical, because to be honest with you, I would want to power before my brakes had completely released in reality. So I've just set that for 60. And you know that's not going to help, because as the game's reminding me, my reverse is in neutral. How about we put the reverser in forward, and then we set the speed for 60. Alright, that should work. Oh, YouTube's complaining at me my resolution's too high again. But I want to stream in 2K. Away we go. No, this isn't promising. We're stuck. What's going on? I think we're about to have an Unreal Engine crash. Oh, no, it recovered. Ooh, wonder what that was. I've not had it pause like that and not crash before. Oh well. Maybe I just confused the game walking away for so long. It's doing more than 60, which is not good. PZB doesn't seem to be killing me for it though, so we'll just leave it for the moment. I guess it's downhill. Yeah, it's all set correctly, I think. As far as I can tell. All the switches are in German. It is a little hard to tell when you don't read German. We're on the cusp of doing what the UK has done, Gareth. So you guys opened up a while ago. Our sister city 800 kilometres north of us has opened up, and that's Sydney. And Melbourne is reaching 70% both doses in the next week. So we'll be opening up as well. For better or worse. And we will probably experience what you've been experiencing. This might have been a mistake showing you the rest of the Meissen Branch in the dark, but the sightseeing spot was pretty. Cipher again. So far PZB hasn't attacked me, which is good. PZB likes attacking me. Or maybe I just don't know how to drive it, but it likes attacking me. I'll put it that way. That was one change that came in the update. You can hear CFA outside the train. It wasn't like that before. Not on the 143. The first thing you'd know is getting yelled at that your train is stopping. I wonder if I've missed a speed sign, because I don't remember it being 60 all the way through here. I have. It's 100. Okay. Thank you, HUD. Super. We're not very far away from going back onto the main line for Riesa Dresden. I'm told Germans don't toot at crossings, so I'm not. Feels wrong to me. Better get back in there because that looks like a yellow signal. Cheers. Got 1,000 hertz, which means I need to start braking. Before PZB brakes the rest of the way for me. Hopefully that's fast enough. Come down to 60, that should be enough. That station stop shortly anyway. We do indeed have a red signal up here. Just a commentary on German railways. I think this offsetting of platforms is a good idea. Oops. I must have hit by a train. What are you doing, game? I know I have to lock the doors, but there's still people getting on and off. Makes me feel guilty. Oh well. We'll leave them behind. Hopefully the brakes have finished coming off and I'll be able to move. That signal has gone green. And we're back in monitoring too. You gonna let me move, train? There we go, it's powering this time. I can probably release the PZB monitoring since the next signal is green, but I'm never quite game to do that, so I just tend to put up with driving at 40 k's. Have a speed restriction of 60 to acknowledge. If you haven't played with PZB, I just messed that up, but you have to acknowledge just after you pass the signal. I must have done it a little bit too early because it stopped me. Brakes on, brakes off, it should release them too shortly. It's not. Go on. Just waiting for those brakes over there to release. Hopefully it's not going to make me wait a minute, because if it is, we're going to get it and go for another walk. I think it is going to make me wait for a minute. Okay. Certainly feels like it is. Oh, let's go and have a look around then. Since we have to sit here anyway. So we can go and look at the town a little bit. Now, I don't understand why all you people are there and why you're looking so grumpy. Because, you know, there was a train just in this platform and I'm pretty sure you got off it. So if you didn't want to do that, it's your own fault. Isn't your twin up the other end? He thinks we need more people in this game. Bus stop, bicycles, some of which I think are embedded in the earth. That might make them a little bit hard to ride.
Hold on, that bus got wheels?
That's a good question, Roy. Yes, it does. Hopefully that's long enough.
Looks very low.
The train hasn't started rolling away yet, so I wonder if its brakes have released or not. Oh well, let's pop back into the cab and find out. They haven't. Why not? I would have thought they would have by now. Is PCB being mad at me? Let's try and do the manual release thing and override them. No, that didn't work. Yeah. Let's try the other trick. You're not going to let me do that, are you? It's because I have to put them into full service. Still can't do it. This might be a short trip in this train if it's not going to release the brakes. Press all 3 PZB buttons randomly and see what happens. And the answer is nothing. Ah, you know what stopped me? It wasn't PZB, I missed a CIFA. Okay. Alright. Back in forwards. Sorry for that interlude, but at least we worked it out. And wrong throttle lever, but at least we worked it out. So we're back in monitoring again. Still in monitoring. And any second now.
70 and 85 flashing.
That's the German safety system called PZB, which is, that means that you're in what's called monitoring, which means you're not allowed to do more than 45 kilometers an hour. But for whatever reason, took the brakes off. That one's not on, is it? That one's running. Brake keys on. It's still not letting me drive, even though it now says I can. Because the brakes aren't on. This is most weird. You can tell this locomotive and I have a wonderful relationship. You gonna power? Not, are you? Let's go the 3 PZB buttons again. See if that makes any difference. And it does not. Well, you know what happens when all else fails.
Is that T light meant to be on?
Yeah, that says the doors are locked. It's the pantograph one. Pantograph, there we are. When all else fails, that should have put my pantograph down. Looks, yeah, it has. When all else fails, reboot it. Right, back into forwards. Brakes off. They have just gone to 0, I can see that. And power. train. God. We're rolling backwards, aren't we? They have no power. Someone will jump on later and tell me what I've done wrong, but okay. I think that's enough of the Meissen Branch. We'll just watch this train slowly sink off into the distance. Bye-bye, train. Have a nice day. Enjoy yourself. Let's see if it still works. Is it going to power this time? Ooh. Aha! Victory! It jumped ahead a bit like a bunny rabbit, but okay. Maybe I just need to be nice to the train. Maybe that's all it takes. What a pretty train. I did warn the passengers before that I have no idea how to drive. I just wing it. And it's a good thing I'm monitoring on my phone that the stream is still running, because it looks like it's dead on the YouTube monitor. That's okay. There's been a new update to OBS, which is the software I use for streaming, and it's not getting on as well with YouTube as you would hope. Yeah, everything still says it's green. Still pumping out at 10 megabits per second. Monitoring. The little numbers that are flickering there, the 0102, that's the amount of power that the loco's providing to maintain the speed that you've asked for. And when monitoring goes off, we'll speed up to 60 again. And this is another form of yellow signal here, which I'll have to acknowledge. Let's see if I get it right this time and don't stuff it up. See, as the front of the train passes over that little magnet under the pole, that's when you have to acknowledge. Ha, victory. And super. Okay. That looks more promising than last time, and we're allowed to go up to 60 now. So we will. If you're still there, Gareth, if it's not a personal thing, how long do you think you'd wait before you started travelling outside your own country again? Or even travelling inside your own country, I guess? Because I know it does worry me a little. There's still something wrong, because I've set it to go faster, but it isn't. It's just sitting there on 40 and it's not providing any power at all. I think I've broken the train. Yes, it looks like there might be a red light coming up anyway, in the distance there. Actually, no, that's not my red light, is it? That's a different red light, I think. Is there another track here? there is. That's for that track. Mine's yellow. Okay, let's see if we can coax mine into giving us some power. Yep. Good. Looks like Gareth may have dropped off, or the chat stopped working, one or the other. Okay, we're now under 1,000 hertz warning. Ah, you're back. So next summer for you is about 8 months away, I guess. No, 10 months, 11 months. No problem at all, mate. Our airlines are offering quite ridiculous ticket prices to go interstate at the moment. But it worries me a little bit going there and getting a snap lockdown and getting stuck there. We're under 500 hertz monitoring now because there's a red light down there. Where's the train? There it is. I get the impression I may have upset the game just a little bit by sitting there for so long. Locked doors. Now, how's that signal going before I just drive off? Is it one of those ones that changes when you get near it? Because we're off the branch now, we're back on the main lines. But it's very much red. Oh well, let's try and drive. And we'll see if it changes. Yeah, there's been some talk of boosters here, but not administering. Oh, there goes the signal. It's gone green. Must have been waiting for this train to come through. We might have been waiting for that freight to cross over. Going up to 40 because I'm still under monitoring from PZB because that light was red. And I just failed to acknowledge a magnet. Sigh. Well, that was quick. That worked well. Only 25. Ah, yes, that's right. I should have stuck up my PZB cheat sheet, and that would have told me 25. Yes, so I went too fast. Entirely my fault. Looks like the brakes are coming off now anyway, so it's not going to punish me that much. We're almost down to 0. Almost. Almost. Oh, let's see if it'll go. Whoops, 20. Come on, 20. Will it power or will it not? Because the brakes aren't quite released. They're just a little bit on. That made a noise, but the needle didn't move. Try that one. Are they just stuck? Or they're just not quite coming off? There they go, down to 0 now. Okay, 20 kilometres. Yay! Thank you, Gareth. Yeah, so I'm not good with PZB. I'm trying to learn it still. Which is kind of funny because I made a tutorial how to do it where I got it all right. And I still get it wrong myself. That's okay. So we're now back on 45 monitoring, so we can go back up to 40 now, I think. Sifa? Yeah, so I think that meeting without coffee might well happen. Probably with a big bright light shining in your face too. Driver, why did you repeatedly fail to do the right thing? And back up to 85, so we should be able to cruise up to 60 now, which was the last speed sign I saw. The good thing about PZB is it makes you think about it and it gives you lots to do. The bad thing about PZB is that you have to think about it and you've got lots to do, which means you can't go flying around outside and do scenic views and things like that. So my signal is green. And we're going onto the S1 branch, S1 line. Doing okay. Frame rate usually dies a bit round here, but it's not too bad today. I've got it set to 180% screen and running at 2K, which makes my poor little 3070 work rather hard. Regret not shelling out the extra couple $100 to get it 3080 or a 3090, but it'll do. I actually think the 2070 Super is faster than the plain 3070. And a force grey screen, yeah, that's pushing it. Mind you, running the screen at 180% like I do, and this is an awful stop, but we'll just roll it in. Running at 180% like I do, I'm almost running at 4K. So that's at about nearly a 4K resolution just to draw the 2K. But I like the way it looks. Yeah, I think close, but there are things that it's slower for. What I'm hoping is that one of my kids will buy the new A4000 when it comes out, and maybe I'll inherit their card. Since they earn their own money these days. It's a very long roll, isn't it? Cruising, cruising, cruising. Nearly there. Its stops are very finicky, I found. So if you stop early, it just doesn't recognise it. Nearly there. Alright, doors open. Yeah, it's interesting you need to drop the quality when you stream. I actually find it doesn't really make any difference whether I'm streaming or not in how well it all works. So I guess Windows is just relatively good at figuring out what to give bandwidth to the various bits of hardware to. Hopefully I waited long enough. See you in a minute. Yep. Yeah, I'm using the card to encode. So I'm running the GPU to do the stream encoding. When I do streaming and recording simultaneously, it feels that. But if I just record or just stream, it doesn't seem to notice much. And given I do this for fun, not to make an income, buying a second computer to run the stream doesn't really make a lot of sense. Have you done any benchmarking on it? I think it's userbenchmark.com. It'll give you a pretty good idea about your machine. It can also give you some recommendations if there's bottlenecks anywhere. Now, I've turned off the NVIDIA stuff. It causes me problems with OBS. And it doesn't help that I'm also running Google Meet at the same time to have the disembodied voices in the chat. I should just go and check and see if anybody's tried to jump in there. No. Oops. Station. 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 Pay attention. Lots of breaks. Sorry, folks. Pick your coffee up later. Oh. I'm going to get away with this. Okay, it's not picky. Oh, that's right. It's not picky when you're off the branch. It's only on the branch that it's picky. That person's head was glowing like it was on fire. Joys. I do love the funny things that happen in this game.
That one too.
Oh, yeah. I have seen an unclothed person too. I wouldn't say they were naked because they were just entirely featureless, no clothes whatsoever. Now, I don't remember seeing a speed sign, but this section is not 60. Yeah. When they tell us things like that, I'm never quite sure to believe them, or if they're just covering because they didn't quite get it right, or they've just pushed this thing beyond the limit of the complexities that the engine will support properly. What speed am I supposed to do here? No, we can do 120. I didn't think this was a 60 area. Let's go up to 110 to be safe. Has this signal got a speed sign on it as well? No, that's just something in the background. Because I've got new content, I've turned off all my mods. Because I don't like running new content with mods installed, because it's not fair on Dovetail if I report a problem and I cause it. But the mod I miss the most is the one that tones the signals down to make them easier to see. I think it's a London Midland mod, but it's very good. I've got a yellow signal coming up and a station stop. Oops, that was a bit violent. My apologies, folks. Slamming you around all over the place. Yeah, that's the guy. The one who's behind the new skyboxes. I guess the challenge with... It's probably not what the core can do. It's probably what the core can do within the constraints of the low-end hardware that they have to put up with. So they're continuing to support the same PC specs that they started to support. When did this come out? TS1 was 3 years ago, I think. As in TSW1. Or TSW... I can't remember which sequence it was. But that PC hardware hasn't changed, and they're supporting the old PlayStations and the old Xboxes. So they have to live within those limitations. Yeah. Yes, hardware from a long time ago. I understand why they do that, but it means the rest of us suffer a little bit. I mean, the PC people not so much, because we can actually adjust our game. We can change engine or any settings and things like that to make it a bit more fun for us. Starting to suffer my problem of trying to play a night run in the daytime. It's getting a little bit hard to see. Yeah, Gareth, I understand why they support it. I mean, asking people to go out and spend what is essentially a week's income to update their gaming rig, assuming they can even get their hands on one, is not very cool. So I absolutely understand why they continue to support the old stuff. What they might want to think about doing is giving the next-gen console people a way to change some of their settings. I mean, we cheat and use engine.ini and userinput.ini. The other possibility, I guess, Gareth, would be to fork the game so that they have a branch that maintains all the current content for the older hardware, but they only develop new content for the newer hardware. Yeah, my current card was, I think, about $1,200 Australian from memory. So, yeah, they're not cheap. Not at all. Mind you, and I remember back when I started gaming in the mid-90s, well, started PC gaming in the mid-90s anyway, the Voodoo 2s and Voodoo 3s were about that sort of level of expenditure as compared to my income. did up the doors, but okay. Do the brakes stay on in this one when the doors are open? Let's have a look. No. So I think I better leave the brakes on. Are we locking? We are locking. Back to 110. If it'll let me. I'm not powering. Must have done it too quick. There we go. You have to be gentle with this locomotive. Yeah, the cloud computing angle's not a bad one. It depends how much it costs, I guess. Can I have brighter lights? No, that's it. At the moment, to attract people, they're keeping it very cheap, but I know commercially to buy that kind of access to that kind of hardware is a lot more than that. So they're trying to attract a market at the moment, but I have concerns that they'll make it more expensive. Because at the moment, what we pay to access cloud gaming services is not in anywhere near in the range of what they'd be paying to support those cloud services. One of the ICEs that you can't drive. Is it wrong of me to read that destination as Bad Santa? I would love to have a proper scenario designer for this thing. Can you go? You're not going to go. Come on. Go on. You know you want to. Yes. Oh, it's good morning from me. I'm not quite sure how to say your name. Manga Panga? Mange Pange? 1, 2, 3? Apologies. What have I done? What have I done? Did I just fail to acknowledge a magnet? Looks like it. Oh dear. Is it fair to blame the chat when there's only 3 people in the chat? And now I'm back in monitoring. It's 1,000 hertz, so I should be able to do 45. Come on, go back down to 0. There we go. Okay. 40 it is. Or not. Let's try that again. 40 it is. Yay, come on BR143, stop hating me. Whee. Off we go. No blame for Gareth. Yeah, it's definitely morning for me. Yes, I do see some reds in the distant future. And a magnet. And Sifa. It's all happening now. Some of those reds are a radio tower. Survived another one. I always get stuck under the bridge up here. I think that's a red signal in the distance there. So just stick with this slow speed in the hope it clears. Soon stop at Dresden Biscuit Splats. That's a good enough name for it. Wow, I'm only running 20 minutes late. Doing great. I guess that's what happens when you abandon your train and go for a walk. So you end up 20 minutes late. So I'm kind of surprised that the game's actually still alive. Oops, I'm on monitoring. And it's 500 hertz, so 25. Actually, no, the 500 is not lit, so 40. All good. I thought it was lit, but it was just the lighting. This is where I often get stopped, because there's a magnet under here somewhere. Yeah, it very much is what it is. We went for a walk back at Meissen to the sightseeing spot. That did take a little while. But we've almost finished this run, and then I'll be doing a more relaxing one because it has no safety systems whatsoever in Rivet's new 1938 stock on Bakerloo. Just because I can. If you're wondering why I don't use the alert and PZB buttons on the rail driver, is I have become sad at remembering where the buttons are in every single train because they change every time, and the alert button itself, while it never seems to change anymore, it always works, is just too bloody slow. So I always feel like it's not happening. Makes the game a little bit too stressful. Don't know why I like that, but I do. I agree, yeah, it's not hardware. They seem to trigger a script with it. It's too early again. I wish there was a light that came on that said it was okay to accelerate now. Are we going to do it? Let's try again. Yay! I've sent them a few demos. I've had PM messages with Matt about it. They're experimenting with various different ways of doing it still. It's interesting, that's a warning of a speed down to 60 and down to 80 rather, and I thought it was a 60 zone and I'm doing 60, well, a little bit over actually. But that's okay. Oh yeah, definitely send it in. The more feedback they get from different people, the more likely they are to change it, because I really do think it's deliberate currently. He does. I'm not convinced he uses it anymore. I think he uses an Xbox controller. He's got a whole cab set up that he used to use with TS. He used to use lots of videos on it. He's got speedo and buttons and all sorts of stuff. And I've had some good conversations with him about Raildriver because support, for example, still officially say that they don't support Raildriver. They clearly do. Yeah, I think Matt is hoping for good things with Raildriver. So am I. And the reason I actually bought this game back when I did was because it was going to support Raildriver. It didn't at the time, but I had faith. That faith was not misplaced. Another ICE. Lots of pretty colours. Yeah, for all the negative things that a small number of people on the forums who are very, very vocal say in the negativity about DTG, I actually don't find them that way. Not sure if I have to acknowledge that, Magnet, or not. I haven't had a bad experience. I mean, they get really bad bugs, they fix them. They've told us they're going to do things, they do them. They seem to be sticking for the most part to the roadmap. Not for everything, there's the occasional surprise, but for the most part. And they probably do need to push their third parties a little bit more. But I am very pleased that they use third parties, because by themselves they can't do everything. Can we go? Can we go? Can I have some? Give me some power. Come on, train. That sounds like... No, here we go. Finally got some power, and that sounds like a Michael trying to come in on the chat. There he is. Welcome, Michael. Disembodied Voice number 2 has joined us on the chat. Michael from Canada, and we have Roy from Melbourne. Melbourne, Australia, that is, not Melbourne, Florida. Uh-oh, what'd I do? Oh, red signal, red signal, red signal, and I didn't acknowledge it. Bad driver. What a terrible driver I am. I had to go and explain to the passengers before that I was a terrible, terrible driver, Michael. And I'm betting they're sitting in their seats now going, we're so close to finishing our trip. And he's fucked it up again. Let me just make it recharge that brake properly. I'm going to blame that on you. That's okay, isn't it? Alright, we're in monitoring. Yeah, you. Must be your fault. You're Canadian.
And welcome to you too, Michael.
Yes,
Hello, Roy.
we have Roy today. We have a very active Gareth in the chat. Ah, that's what I did wrong. But now I don't have a 40 limit, but I... Come on, you going to drive? Yes, here we go. Ooh. Yeah, is it? Is it? Yes! Okay. Yeah, I really like their streams. I like that they're engaging the community. I think that's really good. The level of support you get from their service desk people, if you've got a genuine problem, you're not just whining about something, is really good. They've helped me solve things. In the Karlsruhe release for TS, for example, one of the trains was missing, and it seemed like, based on other people I'd talked to, it was only missing for me. And they pushed out an update via Steam for me, which I was really impressed with. Yep, I appreciate the honesty as well. I mean, they're really unusual in a game company. I've crept up above 20, hopefully I'll get away with this. In a game company, they're really unusual for even talking to their community, let alone being honest with their community. Skyhook don't seem to engage anyone at all. So I don't know what their level of care is, because they don't talk to us. It finally noticed that I'd crept up to 23 kilometres an hour, I think. Ah, sigh. Brakes on, brakes off. I was watching it thinking, am I going to get away with it? And I was getting away with it. And then suddenly I didn't.
Even later now.
Yes. And of course you realise my passengers could actually get out and walk now. They can see it.
Could probably get there faster than you.
I think, yes. Come on, train. Realise I'm allowed to go. Come on. Come on. Yay. Yeah. I kind of think, Gareth, if I was DTG, I wouldn't have run that stream. I would have just said no.
Yeah, I would agree on that too.
Yeah, because, I mean, look, Sam's a tough guy. Very thick skin. Nice individual. Well, I don't think I'd like to make him mad at me. I think he'd, take you apart verbally. But he shouldn't have had to put up with that. And I suspect that's why Sam was on that stream. If you put someone, this is going to sound wrong, but if you put someone who's a lot nicer, like Nat or Jamie on that stream, there probably would have been tears.
Jamie probably would have been crawling underneath his desk on camera.
Yeah, possibly. I mean, that's the kind of behaviour that no one deserves that in the workplace. That's that's akin to hitting someone who's come to help you. Yeah, I think, yeah, definitely Gareth. That's why it was Sam. Do you reckon I'm actually going to get to the end of this platform and finish this trip? I've got a magnet coming up. Going to put on a little bit of brake just in case. Oop, I've gone past where I'm supposed to stop. Last stop. Yay, we finally got here. How long did that take? Oh, wow. An hour and 20 minutes. For what should have been a 45-minute trip. Okay. That was funny. At least it's amusing. Let's see if I get a medal for... Oh, look at that gold medal. Oh, that shit trip and I get a gold medal. That's funny. All right, then. Now we are going to go and do something with no safety systems whatsoever. So let me reset the rail drive. Oh, actually, this one needs to be in that position to start with. Because we're going to switch routes. As I said on the stream the other day and then promptly got in trouble for my other half, everybody likes to change route occasionally. I'd pretend she wasn't listening, but she probably is. Bakerloo, there we go. And we're going to explore. Timetable. Am I doing timetable? No, I want to do Blast from the Past. Silly me. So I want to do scenarios. Hey, why have I got 0 scenarios again? It's reset. I had all of these ticked off. Uh-oh. What's going on? And definitely, Gareth, no one deserves that anywhere. And particularly not in your workplace. Your workplace, it's okay to have some work-induced stress from the work itself. That's okay. But it's not cool for being abused. I've got to turn on markers here because they've set this up in a weird way. They don't like you crossing the tracks.
No, they shouldn't be abused, and I think they should be banned.
Yeah. And there's only a few people.
crying over small things, which is absolutely pathetic.
Yeah. 3 action points. Yes, you're right. Not that I care about much about action points. As you can see, I don't even have that. Oh, how did I do that? I think someone whacked me as I turned the corner then. Get out of the way. Get out of the way. Get out of the way. Go here. Get out of the way. And I'm going to go through this door because the other door is just too little and I'm not a midget. Get out. Get out. I'm going to sit on your lap. Go on. Get out. Yay. All right. Versa. They've done some work on this mechanic. It's easier now. It's not perfect, but it's easier. And reverse it to 2. 1. Scenario wants 1, so we'll do 1. Release the brake. And I'm not going to bother with the lights because we have to turn around anyway. No, forwards. Action points galore. So we'll have a look around in this thing at the moment, but I'll just get it changed ends and go from there. Yeah, I agree, Gareth. There's a difference between criticism and abuse. Criticism is perfectly okay. Abuse is not. I also feel sorry for them. In fact, I feel more sorry for the mods than I do for Sam, because they're volunteers. They're just players. This thing's too quiet a lot of the time, like now. Is that close enough? No. EP Max, take you out. Take you out. And why am I rolling? Pretty sure I put the brakes on. I did. I didn't do this when I played it before. I hope that signal's green. Something bad's gonna happen. I'm just gonna leave all these bloody doors open because I want to get down and stop the thing. Wait. I think I hit myself in the face with a door then. Glad you think it's funny. Alright. In the chair. Ooh, that was disconcerting. Spun me all the way around. In and... What was I saying about them making the mechanic better? Yay! He stopped. And I'll set up the lights and destination board after we get into the station. It's interesting that it didn't do that, because I've played this scenario a couple of times, despite it saying I have no scenarios ticked off at all in Bakerloo. Something weird's gone on there. That is possible, Gareth. Yes, I might have put it in Westinghouse Holt. In fact, that's one bug in this train. I'll show you after we stop. The Westinghouse positions are wrong. Okay, let's just get this thing to come to a stop and I will get set up. Alright, so if we unlock the doors, if I go into the Westinghouse positions, so we've got EP Max and then Westinghouse Hold. And then we've got Westinghouse Charge, which is essentially charge and release. So it's pumping up the brake pipe. And then we've got emergency. There's no apply position. If you like this sort of train, I reckon I'd buy it. Now, where are we going? I've forgotten. Queen's Park, I think. Queen's Park, Kilburn Park, Maida Vale, Warwick, Paddington. No, we're going all the way to Paddington. Okay. Going all the way. Paddington. And we're above ground, so I can leave the Wakefield flag where it is. And headlight, no, whoops, wrong button. Headlight on. And instrument lights on. And let's pop outside. I can't pop outside because I'm not sitting down. Make sure my headlights came on properly. They did. Good. So if you like this sort of train, I like driving it. The sound needs work, but visually it's really nice. I just do the kind of thing train drivers should never do. The lighting in here is really nice. When you get into the tunnel, it's really nice and warm. It's sort of a friendly sort of light. I could go and close all those doors while I'm driving, but no, I won't. And it's got the right level of sound if you stand up. It's got an okay level of sound, but if you're in the chair, it doesn't. And it loses sound completely occasionally, but it's actually the same bug the Isle of Wight version's got. Let's open some windows, because that does make it a tiny bit louder. So that's 43% open, is it? Okay. Opening this makes it louder. So this is 1938 air conditioning right there. Yeah, the dirty roof's cool. Yep, there is no apply position on the Westinghouse. The other things I don't like about it is I love the way it looks. I don't like where the brake gauge is because you really can't see it. I mean, it's probably prototypical. I am sitting central on the chair, but the other thing is, and I know this is a core thing, this is not Rivet's thing. If you watch videos of people driving this train and the versions that's surrounding it before they got to the 1972 thing, they all drive standing up. And you can't, because you can't activate the controls. The speedo up there is relatively useless because it's not in your field of view, so if you had track IR, you'd be okay. It's been particularly quiet today, actually. I think this is quieter than normal. Yeah, I guess you could with a mouse. But I like my rail driver too much. And what's bizarre, you know, I keep thinking about buying a Trek IR, but they're expensive here. What's bizarre about a lot of locos, the rail driver does work when you're outside of it. And if I'm outside here, I can do it, but if I stand up, I can't do it. Now, I like the compressor noise that you hear there. It's got headlights on the back. I'll fix that at the next station. But if I go and sit here, you can hear the sounds cutting in and out. So I do the same thing on this side. Weirdly not as bad as on that side, but you know. Get rid of that marker. Well, you've got the rail driver for speed, and the EP brake doesn't seem to affect the brake gauge, which I think's wrong, because it's electro-pneumatic. It's not electric brakes. It's using electric actuators to supply air out of the reservoirs on the cars. So it should be affecting the brake train pipe. Because dumping air out of the train pipe would then take air... Sorry, dumping air out of the reservoirs into the cylinders would take air from the train pipe to recharge them. That's just what I think anyway. I may not be right. The way I'm set up, it does make it a bit hard to see the rail driver because I don't have room to put it in front of me. And be able to display it on a webcam. I can tuck it. I can tuck it underneath my desk. Oops. I think I just gave it some speed. I did. Not many people get in and out of this. They'll look at it and go, ooh, what's that old thing? I'll wait for one with air conditioning. Did I just unlock the lather doors? I think I did. I think I just unlocked the left ones. Don't fall out, people. One thing I don't like so much is the doors are shiny. That's a bit sad on the top. Looks a bit strange. Off we go. In the feedback I gave Gareth, I've suggested that while that's prototypical up there, that would be in the right place for driving it standing up. And we need it to be down a little bit more, or we need the field of view back a little bit. And same with the brake gauge. It might be prototypical, but it's not much use down there. I'll go and fix those headlights up the back at this station. Kill them off. I didn't turn headlights on when I took over the train, so they must have already been on. Yeah, that could work. Just put in a seat that's really high. And then someone will complain that it's too high. Alright, let's run through the 1938 air conditioner. Hello. Morning. It's a bit empty, isn't it? And headlights off. Let's go outside. No, I can't go outside because I'm not in my chair. I'm not going to jump out. Let's go out here and have a look. Get up, get up. Why are you in my way? Okay, tail lights. Excellent.
It is not permitted to cycle,
People dodge them.
or rollerblade
Slay them.
in the station building.
We've got to go around this guy. Yeah, right. I should have opened up the back door and they could have proper air conditioning. Oh yeah, shut the doors, that might help. was a bit choppy, wasn't it? Yes. So you could argue that the sound on this is just as bad as the sound on the 187, but they didn't cop much heat for it. Yeah, I like it when it's there too. I think it's about right when it's working. And sometimes you get nice track sounds too. I'll turn the game sound up a bit because it is... that might help. I've just turned the game sound up a little bit on my mixer, so hopefully that'll help.
Assistance at any time.
Chatted with two people that call themselves Connie Thunder, which is Connie and Sean, I think it's Sean, about the 187 yesterday. Just going to turn my headphones down now that I've turned the game up, or I will be yelling at you. I was chatting with them yesterday and they quite like the 187, which is cool. Weirdly, if you leave it in shunt, you get to keep sound, but if you put it in coast, the train sounds go away. That's okay. Just keep it in shunt. Except we're going a little bit quick. Turned the game up too much. Okay, bringing it down again. You know if that's better. Is that better on the game sounds?
Sounds good to me.
Cool. I was reading your thing about going to full parallel and staying there and not staying in the... Oops, what, I went into Westinghouse. And I wasn't paying attention and I'm going to blow off this station, I think. It's trying to stop. It's not going to be awful. Oh, I might pull this off. Oh, doors in the platform. I don't know how I managed that. Don't know how I managed that. Happy that I managed that. And you're right, I should go to full parallel and stay there. Otherwise, it will blow its line fuse. Come on, Mr. Choppy Sounds, you can do it. That would be a yellow light coming up there. Yeah. I got taught to drive a thing called a W-class tram in Melbourne, and it's remarkably like this setup. And to drive that thing, you actually put the controller all the way to full parallel and then go back to the one of the first 4 notches in series. And you do that really quickly. It's like full on and then back to the 1, 2, 3, 4. And if you don't do it, if you try to be gentle with it, it's a very unforgiving machine. But if you're rough with it, it's happy. I don't understand why hold slows you down, but that's okay. I'll forgive him for that, because the Bakerloo one's the same. So you're saying, Gareth, that if I go to full parallel and then go back to series, it's actually just going to keep going in parallel? I guess there's a level crossing up above us here. I assume that's what that noise is. Cool. Yeah, I think it kind of behaves the way it does with a notched throttle. So I think it says things like parallel and series, but it doesn't really mean it. It's just 1, 2, and 3 effectively. Good spot for a rail fan to stand. Sure, I pressed the close button. Maybe I didn't press it enough. I definitely pressed the close button. Pressing the wrong one. Now I feel dumb. Sigh. And now we're going to do something funny. Ah, I missed it. I had to press the save key. Just drove straight through a red signal. Okay. Now I want to show you this one, so we're doing that again. But I was going to press the save key and show you something funny, but it was too quick for me. Oh well. Sigh. See? Trying to get the nice rail fan shot, thinking it'd be okay in this train, but no, I didn't take into account that I am in fact just an idiot. So now we get to do all that again. Woohoo! Come on, let me go. Let me go. Feel free to laugh.
Okay. Ha ha ha.
Well done, Paul.
Yes. Okay, little train. Actually, I have to go in this door anyway, because you can't open it while he's sitting there, because the seat. Missed the door. Oh, I'm doing so well today. I am demonstrating extreme competency. Go on, go away. Go away. Not only did he vanish, he took his damn key with him. Forwards one, yes I know game. Yes, I have set it to released. Come on. You're going to make me do it with a mouse, aren't you? Ah! I hate scenarios sometimes. Oh, I know why it was grumpy, because I had the controller still in full. You going to let me move? You're not, eh? Am I not in one? Sure I was, but maybe I'm not. This is going pretty well. Let's go back to off. Back to one. Brakes off. Go. What didn't I do? Did I not turn the key on? No, that's fine.
Not going very well, is it?
No, it's not. Let's go forward 2 and try that. What have I done to it? I didn't have to press any buttons last time. Not a sausage. Let's see if it'll go backwards. No. I have no power at all. Turn on my instrument lights. Do they light
You
up?
turned everything down to the left on, correct?
Yeah. Yeah. Gonna run through a red signal in a minute. So it's definitely got power. I'm gonna try and turn it off and on again though. Take the key out. Let's put that back to off and take it out. I suspect I've run afoul of not doing things in the order that the scenario wants. I think that's probably the issue. You know what we do now? There's only one thing left for it. Yeah, I do have the blue light on. I like that, Gareth. If you laugh, then you spat on your next run. We've all been there, haven't we? No, I think all that was wrong there is the usual thing with scenarios. If you don't quite do things in exactly the right order, then they don't work. I might have even missed a marker on the way in or something like that. So let's just behave ourselves. Okay. Should go better this time, honest. So I don't think that's the train. That's just scenarios being what scenarios are. Take 2. Or is it take 3? It's take 3. Oof. Hello. Hello. Can I have my chair? Thank you. Oh, you put the seat up this time. Now let's do exactly what the thing
nice of 'em.
says. And I'm even going to do it all... Oops. I'm even going to do it all with the moose rather than the rail driver. Wrong way. Released. Yay! Alright, now I'll take over the rail driver. Sometimes the rail driver does confuse scenarios. And the blue light, I agree, should be on regardless of what settings I have for my instrument lights, because the blue light is track line power. And this yellow light illuminates the speedo that's not there. Which was something I asked Rivet about on their thing. Why would you leave the light there if you took the speedo away? Yes, I think that is where the not supported light things come from. It's because sometimes scenarios do get confused with it. Let's put it to EP max. So we're definitely in EP max this time. Versor off, key out. Should pop the dead man switch too. It's not going to roll away today. This time. Off. Come on, give me the key out. Key out. Stand up. Put the seat up. On. There we go. And turn the headlights off. Instrument lights off.
Tail lights on.
Yeah, you don't turn them on. They just come on by themselves, I think. Let's have a look. We still got headlights on. You know why? It's because I sit in a chair and do it. I bet you they turn off. Oh, I bet you they turn off if I press the off button too, rather than the on button. There we go. See? When the driver's not an idiot, we'll leave the full on air conditioning going this time. All air conditioning open. It's funny, I get the occasional private message on the forums after my stream saying, why did you leave all the doors open? It's because there's no one here to make me close them. Alright, let's do you. Actually, no. Let's do what the scenario wants. Alright, so it's not going to give me any directions anyway. Sticky. Set our weapon. Paddington we're going to, aren't we? If we make it this time. If some silly driver doesn't go... Window. If some silly driver doesn't drive through a red signal and we actually make it to Paddington, that would be amazing. Headlights. Oh, I love this thing, by the way. I love the way it comes on slowly and goes off slowly. That's just cool. Alright, let's drive. And reverse a key in. Forwards 2. And away we go. Take 3. Is it 4? Maybe it's 4 now.
Lost count.
That's it exactly, Gareth. Charge extra for the free air. Yeah, it'd be nice. I kind of like having it on in the tunnels because there's nothing to see anyway. But a bit less bright would be cool. What's weird is when there's doors open, no light comes through in the tunnels.
All our trains and stations are no smoking areas. Please do not smoke until you have left the station premises. This includes e-cigarettes.
Alright, let's do all that again. And try not to go through the red light this time. I gave up worrying about messing up on stream a while ago. If anything, it's probably makes it more watchable than less. Hey, look, that guy's like we are. Except for that poor OCD perfectionist who's sitting there now going... Let's turn off that marker. My youngest son's a bit that way. When he's gaming, when things don't quite go the way he thinks they should go in the game, he's got very good explaining skills in the way it should have worked, and why the way it did work wasn't right and wasn't fair. Ah, yes, Colonel Failure, I love his streams. I watch his streams, even when he's streaming games that I don't give a crap about. They're just funny as. If anybody doesn't know who Colonel Failure is, look him up in your YouTube app after the stream, maybe. Just saying. But he is funny as. He would make an excellent Australian. He does play Dark Souls. In fact, he might be playing it at the moment. I think I saw it pop up in one little corner down there that one of those two up there is playing it. They live up there, up behind me. It's one of the cooler things we've done as a family is we bought this house together. And they have a separate area. Well, I say we bought it. Still owe the bank $500,000. And I've got 10 years to pay it off. Yay!
Oh, he's not streaming.
I have noticed he's been streaming a little bit less lately. I think he's probably been... because he is actually a DTG person. He's Sam. And I suspect he's been feeling the pressure of the issues around rush hour as well. It's just... I know Matt's stopped his personal streaming completely. Hasn't even played Wreckfest for a while. And I'm sure they're feeling the pressure. Did I fail to stop at that station as far as the game's concerned? Is that number going up? That goes up to 0.8. I'm going to be sad. Woohoo, 0.6.
No, it's going down.
Yay. And of course now I'm going really fast trying to catch up. So I'll mess something else up instead. Just means I have to put the brakes on super early. Yeah, I've watched some of this week's. I haven't had that much time myself. We've been a little bit busy at work, haven't we, Roy? think I caught you working in our No Work Friday afternoon virtual meeting, didn't I? Naughty Roy. Silence is an admission of guilt, Roy.
I had to send off one last email.
Thought so. Caught ya.
You could see me typing away there.
No, I could see the expression on your face. You were concentrating. But definitely watch the kernel failure videos. They're quite good. Here's a detail I hadn't noticed before. The signal pedals actually work on this thing. The little things that hit your emergency brake lever on the bottom of the train. They actually go up and down. I hadn't noticed that before. Yeah, Gareth, we have a Roy and I work together, and we have a Friday afternoon no work meeting where you're not allowed to talk or do work, just to end the week. It's sort of to help us stay a little bit social, even though most of us haven't seen each other for, God, more than a year. We both live in the most locked down city in the world. What are we up to now? 275 days or something? Something crazy like that. We've had a couple of little respites here and there. So we had our first lockdown, and then we had, I think we almost had a month out. And then we had our second lockdown, and we had about 3 weeks out. And then our third. We're still in this one.
Yep.
And between our second and our third lockdowns, we took the chance of going away for a holiday. And the third lockdown was announced while we were there. And we had a choice of staying in a little country town where there were no shops, or coming home. And we chose to come home, so we raced home, made it just before the deadline. Yeah, we'll do some social chatter before we get into the work side of meetings as well. Who's got bets on me on this signal? Because, you know, this one's yellow. See, now if this sounded like that, wouldn't you be happy?
Yes.
Yeah, part of the reason we run the no work meeting, and we do around the room, is so that the quieter ones actually say something, because often in the work meetings, the quieter ones never really speak. Roy's one of the quiet ones until you pull his string, and then there's no shutting him up. It's like now, you just can't shut him up.
You know me too well, Paul.
At least your new house is progressing. That's good.
That's it.
You're at the stage now where progress is real and palpable, and you're probably at the excited stage. Soon you'll cross into the bored, why isn't it finished yet stage, and then you'll cross into the stressed out, why isn't it finished yet stage, and then you'll get into the angry, why isn't the builder working on my house, nothing's happening stage.
Yep.
And then you'll move in, and you'll be all happy. Well, I hope.
We're at the stage where they haven't laid the concrete yet, and we've already found about 9 defects.
Oh, there really is someone out there. My security system spotted someone. It's alright, it just keeps looking at our Halloween decorations. That's fine, that's why they're there.
As long as they're looking and not taking them, that's fine.
It's outside. Kind of like us. Okay, we're fast approaching where I screwed it up last time. Will I do it again? Go a little bit quicker for this curve. That's about it. I've got the mic further away today, by the way. Is that sounding better than usual or too quiet? So I played back some of my old streams.
Sounds fine to me.
Excellent. I played back some of my old streams and I was breaking up a little bit, so I was a bit too close to it, I think. It is a fairly sensitive mic, but it's directional and it's pointed at me, so hopefully okay. Cool. I don't generally get popping with this mic. It's got a pop filter built into it, so which I quite like. Oh, I wish that compressor was louder in the cab. And those track noises are why I drive with the doors open. DTG's bondage poster. I think we're probably wheel slipping at the moment. Almost back to ground zero. If you want to have some amusement with this game, if you run a red or you do something else that's naughty like derail your train, before it gets to the kick you out screen, if you hit escape, get into the menu and quickly hit save, you can then reload that game, which is just after whatever happened. So you can kind of carry on even though you ran through a red signal. And the game kind of knows you're there and kind of doesn't.
Know that.
Well, you might have noticed that Mayhem in London video I put up where I crashed one of the Gatwick Express trains. That's how I did that. I ran it through a red, saved it before it told me that I'd run through a red signal, and then restarted it and reloaded that save game. So I'd already run through the red signal and then drove straight into the back of another train just because it was fun. And then train bits went everywhere. I actually sat there watching that mayhem for quite a long time, but only put, I think, a minute of it or so up on the video. I figured a minute was funny. Not in this route. I haven't escaped the world and I've never found the donkey in this one. I think I've escaped the world in all the German routes. And a Rosa, I found a place that you can get out, but I think they fixed it when they did their patch. And I was very pleased to hear that there seems to be some sound of another patch coming. I just hope that they listen to what community members want and patch the right things. If you really want to get out of bounds, there's a mod that takes out the invisible walls. You have to be a little bit careful though, because in a lot of the places where there's an invisible wall, on the other side of it, there's actually no collision box. So if you walk on what looks like a floor, you just fall out of the world. Yeah, I hope they do it. And while, I mean, he did go to some pains to point out that we're back at ground zero. Will I screw it up again? There's an interesting question. Anybody want to put odds on it? But while he said they're a small company and it's difficult for them to afford it, the reality is if you put out something that's broken in many countries of the world, including Australia and the EU, I'm not sure about the UK, not in the USA. In the USA you can put any crap you want. But in these countries you're actually required to fix it. So if you can't afford to fix it, you shouldn't be releasing it. I'm just going to stay in the cab this time. I'm not going to try any smart-ass rail fan view. Yeah, I think that's true, Gareth, because, and yes, if they don't do it, they've lost a fair bit of the community. Not all of it, but a fair bit. And you need to have some faithful. See, that's what I thought that light was going to do last time. But it didn't. Because that's what it's done every other time. But it didn't. I'd love it if we could drive up there, but no, nothing ever goes up there. I kind of think people are only putting up with the game crashes that we've got at the moment because DTG are making the right noises about fixing it. I had a crash yesterday when I played this scenario to test it. I haven't seen any mods that affect the world that much. I don't think anyone's quite figured that out yet. I suspect if you ran the Unreal Engine unlocker, you actually could reach into the game and change things like that. I haven't really been game to try that. I haven't seen many crashes, Gareth, just the odd one here and there. Dresden's probably the most common crashing route, but there's a little bit on this one, and some on Boston. No one wants to get on.
safety and comfort, this station operates a no smoking policy. This includes e-cigarettes.
Hello, how you doing? Welcome to the railway. Hope you're enjoying your ride. Anybody want to come and help drive a train? No? 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 Alright then. Guess I have to do it. It's hard to know how often the crashes are really happening. I know I experience... So if I play for 5 hours, I'll probably get one. But it's nearly always at the end. And while you don't get the finishing things, if you were one of the players that likes watching your points go up, you might be a bit sad about that, but it doesn't worry me so much. I'd love to know if this is realistic, routing trains through a shed. I could check their tickets, yes. I just realised I was fighting the brakes so much. You had one of those rail driver moments. I got stuck here with this signal red the other day. Let's hope it doesn't happen this time. Cross fingers. Green light. Green light. Come on. Green light. Yay. Sometimes I think I bump the levers and it changes the position of things, and sometimes I think it gets these misreadings between the levers because they still haven't got that quite right. On the Clinchfield F7, for example, if you move the reverser while you're driving, it turns the wipers on. Which is a bit funny. Down the hole. Where is that thing? That thing. More brakes, more brakes, more brakes, lots of brakes. Not that many brakes. No, it's a good thing the signal's green. She'll be right. When you turn the weak field thing, you do actually have weaker electric brakes too, but I made it. It's all good. Here's something you can do in this one that you can't do in the Bakerloo one. You can run off down the tunnel. Can't do that in the other one. Tickets. Tickets, please. Tickets. Tickets. Are you vaguely uncomfortable, sir, that I brought you into this dark place, stopped my train, and now I'm talking to you? You got worms or something? You're pretty cool, calm, collected. You again. You two weren't here before. Where'd you come from? You just materialised, didn't you? No one up there. Alright. Okay. It was the right doors, wasn't it? Try and stop in the next station. There's a mod that opens the door on the Bakerloo trains too. I'm just going to leave that in shunt, even though it's not realistic, just so it keeps making noise. I don't think I've killed the chat, but it might have timed out. Oh, this meeting has ended. Let me try and start it again. Oops. I think what happened with the meeting chat is that it finally died. Recreate. Let's look at everybody in here now. There you go. Jump into that one if you want. It's a new one. Now I get lots of random people in here. But I think that meeting that should have died 6 months ago finally did. Because there's new restrictions on Google Meet now. Just have to let you in. Hello, Michael. And let me mute this mic. Actually, let me not mute this mic as an experiment. We'll see if it comes out in the stream. Let me know if you hear it twice.
Yeah, hearing it twice.
Okay, I better kill it.
I wondered why Roy went so silent. I couldn't hear myself.
Yep. I did hear a strange bloop noise, so I think that was the end of the meeting. But I didn't put two and two together because I can't actually see it. It's underneath another window. So jump back in if you want, Roy, and Gareth, if you want to join in with that, you go right ahead too. If you feel like it. Where is this station? There it is. I have noticed if you played is once you put that flag down, your brakes are weaker as well as your acceleration. Which does not make sense, given they're electro-pneumatic. If they were just electric, it would make sense. Did I pull that off as a nice stop? Oh, look at that. How did I get in here? Alright, fair enough. I'm not quite sure how I got up here, but I have. Let me just go and let the other person who's trying to join the meeting. It's Roy. Roy's back too. Okay.
That's
One.
me.
Ray, I'm back in the right place now. Somehow I got stuck in the wall. Not quite sure how I did that.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we
Yeah.
can hear you, Roy.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. That meeting that should have died 6 months ago finally did.
What better timing than in the middle of a stream?
Of course. Everything that can go wrong does go wrong. It's good having the disembodied voices. There is a downside to the disembodied voices though, because I get a lower chat rating, which means it recommends the video to less people.
No.
But that's life.
Oh, we're PG.
I think you should definitely drink some whiskey, Gareth. I think you should listen to that advice. I think it's excellent advice. I think it sounds like an awesome idea. Now, this is our final stop. I'm going to kick everybody out and change ends. Enjoy your drink, Gareth. Hope it's a particularly nice whiskey for you. Alright, I have opened the doors. Now I need to get rid of this cab. And headlights off. Instrument lights off. In the chair again. And did I put the brake DP max? I have. Lever out. Key. Come on, give me the key thing. Key out. Good. And now, where are we headed to? We're going down to Queen's Park. There we go. And we'll do that at the other end as well. End of the line. Everybody off. Oh, you already have. Very good. End of the line. Get out. End of the line. There's no one here.
It's good to see they fixed that bug.
The unload all. Yes. Before I sit down. Queen's Park. Okay, let's jump in the chair. And it's the key. Come on. Again. Headlight. Oops, wrong button. Headlights on. There we go. Instrument lights on. I didn't turn off the cab light at the other end, did I? Forward 2. You know something else I didn't do at the other end? I have to pop the weak field up. It's quite a curved station, isn't it? Weak field. And no, it looks like I did turn the light off. Or it turned itself off, one or the other. Do like the lighting in here. It's a bit brighter when you're in a station. I'll stop in the tunnel and show you what I mean. Leave the station and go back and have a look. Alright, lock doors. Oops, red. Green signal. And there is another train right there. Now I'm going to stop right there. Because look how nice that looks. Just that nice, deep, warm colours. Really nice.
Pretty cool.
Then we should go up here and go. Hello, train. Oh, I can't go up there. Alright then, better go back to mine now. So there are invisible walls in the tunnel, so even if you do get out, it looks like. Can't walk all the way through. Can I sit down? Yep. Other drivers going, what is this clown doing? Almost back to Warwick Avenue. And off. Doing a little bit more than the 25 mile an hour I'm allowed to do down here. Someone's sending me 1,000 messages a second in one of my chat apps. They can wait. Got a train to drive. I wonder if that view is what it would be like being eaten by a snake. Assuming you survived the first bit. Anyone getting in? No one. Come on, get in. You know you want to. Go on, get in. Go on. No. Just because we can. I'm glad that still works with the rail driver buttons, because I reckon I would get a bit sad doing that every stop.
Not to mention it would make you late.
Yes, off to Maida Vale. The stream's still running because I just dropped down to 0.
Yeah, it's still going.
Cool. YouTube lies. Got another sharp corner coming up, I think. Slow down a little bit. It's hard to tell in here. Especially since they don't actually give you the visual cues. And in reality it would not be like this. I know they keep saying it is, but it's bollocks. I don't care how weak your headlights are, it's going to be brighter than that. No brake noises at all. Oh, a little bit of squeal at the end there. Anybody get in this time? No. It's sad now. No one likes my train. No one wants to get in. Away we go. It's nice to be driving a train that just takes off when you want it to, and it's not a recalcitrant German engine that goes, "Nein! I will not. You have not activated the controls at the precise picosecond that you're supposed to, so I will not." Hey, thinking of picoseconds, Roy, I'll have to send you a video link. Some people making
Okay.
some people making some 1950s mainframes run again. It's kind of cool.
Sounds interesting.
That'd be a red light. Stop. Kilburn Park, ladies and gentlemen. This train is going to Queen's Park. Anyone? 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 Bueller? Bueller? Anyone? Anyone? Hello? Anyone? Anyone? Oh, makes you wonder why I'm running the train. Oi, get in. Get in the
That's
train.
gotta be a
Get
bug.
in.
That's
Come
gotta
on.
be a
Get
bug.
in the train. Get in. Get in. Get in. What are you waiting for? It's going where you want to go. Come on. Get in.
You know you're just wasting your time taking the train to the destination, don't you?
Yep. No one wants to go to Queen's Park. Queen's Park must be a shithole.
Please ensure you have a valid ticket for travel. You will be expected to
That light is green. Number BB36. Sounds like a robot from Star Wars. We're going to pop out of the ground soon. Like a champagne cork. Gone quiet again. Can have proper brakes again now. Yellow light. Now there's a trick to this scenario. And I have to thank Connie for pointing out what that trick was. The first trick is that you can't go past that. Otherwise you're stuffed. And the second trick is, even though it doesn't tell you to, you do actually have to change ends now. EP max, that's what I want. So it'd be handy if it told you to do this, but it doesn't. Come on. Alright, back we go. Don't even have to tell everyone to get off today, because they already have. Now you can just stare at them through the doors. Go. No, there's no one there. Oh, yeah, there is. Hello. Hi. Obstructing doors can cause delay and can be dangerous. Excellent. Sounds like something I'd do. I might try and get shorter.
ticket checks are
We've only got half a train now.
Please have your tickets ready for inspection.
No, I think maybe you just.
No, no, it's still there. just thought I'd lost half my train. But... Nope. No, let me in here. Let me in, let me in. No, 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 no. In here. Okay. Now, even though we're not really going very far, whoops, headlights on, instrument lights on, key, other key, turn it on. And I can't see the ground signal. Let me just have a quick look. Brakes back on. No, that's the other end. Come on, I want to see this end. You're not going to let me look at it, are you? Come. You need to put me up on the road now. What are you doing, game? I need to see this signal. Okay, I'm allowed, I think. Let's just make sure. Yeah, apparently. Alright. Now, after all of that, last time I played this is where it crashed. Since I came in here. I thought, that's a bit disappointing. Now, if it doesn't crash this time, hopefully I can show you what the outside of the train looks like. Oop, passed it. No, it's going to kick me out straight away. Oh well, I was hoping to show what the outside of the train looked like. I think we might just start one up. And we'll just jump into the timetable and just so we can have a look down the outside of the train because we didn't do that. And then we will call it quits for the day. Heritage stock there. Queen's Park's outside, that's fine. It's not much point showing you inside a tube station. I still don't know where that signal box is. Okay, jump out. Let's wander down the outside. Can't wander down that side. But they've done quite a nice job. The way it looks. You can't control any of these things, but they're all drawn quite nicely. I think it's pretty cool. I don't think it's quite what people assume it is. I actually think this is the preserved set designed to run in the modern day. That's why it's got some modern stickers. Because lots of people are saying backdating it to 1938, but no, there is actually only one of them. Because if you run the other services, none of the other trains are this thing, they're all the normal Bakerloo trains. So it is just a preserved train. Number 777. I'll just do a quick wander through the inside, if I can get a step. Up. So really nice wooden floors. Nice colouring. It's appropriately grotty, because even a preserved train would be appropriately grotty. Nice wear on all of the brass steels. Oh, isn't that handy? Lighting is really nice in the carriages. Just the coloration they get in those things. Really cool. So I know lots of people like to put shit on Rivet, but I think they've actually done this very well. Because there's even... Someone thought about that. And there's a nice reflectivity in the paint. So it's the pattern from up there. In fact, that's one... I don't know if we can see that in here. He's going to let me out. There actually is reflectivity in the paint on the outside too. You can sort of see it reflecting the lights, I guess. And you can just see... There you go. You can see the tracks. So that's quite nice. That would be something where ray tracing would be handy if Dovetail had it, but they don't. But anyway, I think we'll go racing back up the front here, and we will leave you with a front view of the thing, and that will be it for today. So thank you very much for joining in. It's been quite a lot of chat activity today, which has been nice. We've had disembodied voices with Michael and Roy, and we've had lots of fun, lots of silliness, and lots of fun. So thanks very much, and stay in the meeting, you two. All right, enjoy. I welcome any and all feedback. Feel free to comment on the video. Constructive criticism is welcome, especially if I've got something wrong. I stream every Sunday morning starting at 8:30 AM, and I also do ad hoc streams from time to time during the week. Please subscribe and click notify to avoid missing out. Subscribing helps me by helping me see what content is good and how it helps the channel grow, or doesn't, as the case may be.